Hey there guys, pumped for this one. Got the t-shirt on ready. Let's do this. Number 5, The Man Who Laughs. Okay, so the reason I've picked The Man Who Laughs for number 5 is it's a great introduction into Batman's most fierce, his most deadly enemy that he's ever faced, the Joker. It's the Joker's origin story in as much as it's his first notable crime that he commits as the full-fledged Joker. He has origins under the Red Hood, but that's not mentioned in this comic. It's straight into his first crime that he commits in Gotham, and it's a fantastic entry point into what will become Batman's greatest enemy. Number 4, The Dark Knight Returns. Okay, this is a risky one that I've picked for my number 4 because for many people The Dark Knight Returns will be number 1. It's Frank Miller. Some regard it as his greatest ever work in terms of the comic book industry. It sets the tone for every Batman comic that comes out, so it could easily have been number 1, but my collection has a fierce amount of competition, and this one I've picked for my number 4 because it has a story that runs all the way through every single Batman villain and has touches of heroes that he comes to work with as well. You can see his relationship with Superman, you can see his relationships, how he plays off of enemies and allies. You'll see that he struggles with bonding, and I feel like out of all of the collection that I have today to show you, that Dark Knight Returns really touches on his bonding. How he struggles to have ties with people for long periods of time, and how Batman is a loner. Number 3, The Killing Joke. I've chosen Killing Joke because to many it is Batman's greatest ever story, and again it tackles his greatest ever enemy, the Joker. In terms of beauty for a comic, right up there with any top-notch comic you'd want to pick up today. It stood the test of time story-wise, and the artwork is absolutely beautiful. There's not really much else you can say. It is easily one of the greatest standalone Batman stories, if not the greatest. And if you pick it up as the graphic novel, it's good enough to go in this collection, and good enough to hit my number 3. Number 2, a toughie, and again many people's number 1, Batman Year One. Okay, so Batman Year One, it is everybody's go-to for introducing people into Batman, and that is why it scored so high up on my list. If someone wants to get into Batman, or they want to get into the DC universe, a lot of people will point to this one, and in terms of it being close to The Dark Knight Returns, this is the origin, it's the starter for Frank Miller's epic that continues in The Dark Knight Returns. So I know when I started out getting into comics, I went straight for this one and then moved up into what everyone I would imagine does and gets, Dark Knight Returns. In terms of storytelling, it's everything you'd expect from Frank Miller, and the artwork is very simple, but it's a great read and a solid Batman story. My number 1, The Court of Owls. The Court of Owls is my number 1 because it is brave. It takes Batman to a place where we very rarely see him go, and in this comic he is completely outmatched, and only his fortitude, only everything that makes him Batman takes him to the end of this comic. Purely for that, the writing is exciting, it's Scott Snyder's introduction into a main title for Batman. He did Black Mirror, which I have as well, but this I feel is stronger than Black Mirror, and the artwork is absolutely gorgeous in this, and the story is killer. So for me, it's a new title, but knocks the dust off of the franchise completely. And for many, Scott Snyder's introduction into the Batman universe did exactly that, knocked the dust off the shelf and brought Batman to the forefront of comics again. This is a fantastic read, and I highly recommend picking it up if you're new to Batman. Thank you for watching my top 5, guys. I hope you agreed with my picks, and I'd like you to leave me comments if you are a fan of Batman, if you read a lot of Batman comics, and tell me how close to the mark you thought I got for you. I hope that you enjoyed my list and you pick some of these up, because they're great titles to pick up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.